first off, I'm in out there. I know it's nothing different on the timeline, but is there anything you can share? Like, how much did he do today? Anything like that?
He did nothing physical. He's obviously here to be engaged and locked in, so he's not behind when he comes back. So we want him out there. He can make a pass if he's standing in the same spot, but no, he's not doing anything physical. It was a mental day for him to stay locked in.
I see Alperen's now experimenting with things like these kind of Dirk-style fadeaways, different moves. Is it surprising how quickly he kind of picks up and implements things, especially on that offensive end?
Not necessarily. He's worked on those for a while. So it's not like he's just getting in the game, trying it for the first time. Puts in the work, and obviously a skilled offensive player, so some of that stuff is pretty natural for him.
You were saying yesterday that you don't put a lot of stock in home versus road. Is there, they're all the same to you? Or are there certain things, mentality or preparation, that applies to one rather than the other? Applies to these road games that didn't to the home?
No, I would say I don't, but I've been around for a long time. Some of the younger guys, it probably affects them. You see that with younger guys, home versus road stats and record and all that. But, with the vets that we have and we added, we've talked about it since training camp, trying to be really good on the road and, play us against the crowd mentality. So for me, I think other than the routine of being at home, being on the road, something is a little different. But what I'm trying to build with our guys is go on the road and have the same success, same mindset as if you were at home.
The success has built some confidence that these things you prioritize can work. Would road wins add to that?
Yeah, I think so. We've talked about it. There's probably no better feel than seeing a crowd leave on the road, and so obviously you want to play well there. But yeah, I think for younger guys specifically, to have that success is one thing. But when you've had Fred, Dylan, and other guys who've been, Jeff as well, who've been around and been there, done that, I don't think you take as much stock in it.
Guys have spoken about, when they miss time due to injury, being able to kind of look at the game from a new perspective, going over film, that kind of thing. What are some of the things you've had Ime working on since he's been outside from obviously just getting better and trying to rehab and get back on the court?
Yeah, a good amount of film sessions, one-on-one sessions. Obviously, we want them at the shoot-arounds. We want them in practices and obviously paying attention to the game to kind of get the flow of the game so when they come back, they're ready to go. And so Tari obviously did that. My men's doing that now, but healthy or injured, we have a lot of individual one-on-one sessions with guys, and so keeps them engaged and keeps them up to speed with what we're doing.
Coach, during this 6-game winning streak, a lot of teams aren't caught by surprise, but they are surprised by the competitive nature that you all have. Is that just the identity that you want to set, and how much of that is starting from you and trickles down to the players?
Yeah, you know when you start winning, teams look at you a little bit differently, but we said that from the get-go. Training camp was that we wanted to change the perception, and coming into Houston and play against us or whenever you play us, it's not the same as in the past year. So I think guys have embraced that. They're taking that to heart. Me, I just give the message, and obviously the buy-in has to be on the players, and they've done that. So they've gelled quickly on both sides of the ball. You can see us being a little more unselfish and locking in defensively to our assignments. And we've gotten better through the 9 games. So, yeah, I relay the message and kind of set the tone as far as that. But if they don't buy in and we have the group all coming together for that, it doesn't mean anything what I'm saying.
Bit of a random question here perhaps, but in this 6-game winning streak, anyone notable share any words with you or anyone give you kind of any praise or insight that you found valuable? You can share with us?
You have these veterans, teaching the young guys things you can see on the court. What kind of things that you can't see behind the scenes are guys like Jeff, Dylan, anybody helping with that?
Yeah, it's everything, and it's like I said, it's been from day one. You sign a guy like Fred, and they're immediately together in the off season and summers in California, dinners and all that. And so they do so much more than on the court, and it's not just even physically on the court. They're talking and pulling guys aside. Doing what on the bench, they're always talking to these guys. So whether they're in the game or out of the game, they're engaged in it. It's not just them playing or talking to those guys there. It's a lot of off-court things as well. So the group has kind of come together pretty quickly, kind of tight-knit group, and I think that plays into the importance of how well we're going to do. Guys are playing for each other, getting to know each other, and get to go on these road trips and bond a little bit more, spend more time together. So I think it only helps.
On the other side of town, Texas head coach D'Amico Ryan is pretty much in your same situation as far as being first-year coach. And 2 weeks ago, he told us he's teaching his team how to handle success. Is that the same thing that you're doing, and how are you implementing that? strategy?
Yeah, some of that. I think I mentioned before the Lakers game, we had won a few in a row and didn't love our focus the day before the game. Felt like we came in a little bit loose and a little bit happy, and so I addressed that there. And we haven't done anything yet, and obviously have some big opponents coming up. So I love the attention to detail and focus pre-game, the day of the game, after we kind of said that. I got guys like Fred and Dylan staying on these guys as well, and so they're all saying that. But yeah, it's a big thing for young teams to understand that and go do it and try to build off that and keep growing and not get content or happy with what you're doing.
Have you got a chance to watch the Texas play this year?
Yes, very, very impressed. I'm not a first-year coach like he is, but first year here in Houston. But no, yeah, I have, and obviously Stroud, who I saw quite a bit. I'm a big college football fan, so I saw him in Ohio State, and even before that in high school, and so he's stepped in and done great. Obviously, you see his name is coming up in a lot of conversations, not just rookie of the year conversations. So obviously at that position, similar to what we have with Fred, a guy kind of quarterback and leading everything what we do. And yeah, for them, you can see the buy-in. I didn't watch the Texans much before this year, so you know, from everything I'm hearing and seeing, it looks like they're buying in as well.
College over NFL?
Yes.
Why?
Oregon. I didn't have a pro football team growing up, so I'm one of the Ducks.
Sorry, Coach, one more. Through these first 9 games, you've been able to maintain the #1 transition defense in the NBA, but you've also been last in pace. How directly correlated are those two stats, and would you like to see the pace pick up as the season goes along?
I don't think there's a correlation as far as that. You know, our emphasis has been on, you know, growing in that area where we were last year, transition, but you know, we've slipped a little bit in offensive rebounding where we're one of the top teams. And so, you know, I believe we can do both. But the offensive pace is more, to me, it's we like to encourage the running off of misses and stops, obviously turnovers, and we've been really good when we've done that. We just got to increase the pace off of makes now, you know, getting to things. But at times, especially with me being the first time and our guys here, I'm calling more plays off the makes, which eventually I'll not get to as much, and then I'll pick up and increase our pace.
Well, since Jackson brought it up, can I follow on that? Because all you visit.
Ime, you're never.
The two things that you guys have been very good at might reflect in pace, and that you're second in the league in secondary assists. And when you switch a lot, I guess that cuts down the other team's pace.
Of course.
So you must have measures of pace that aren't affected by those.
Yeah.
How is it?
Yeah, I talk about it. It's not just transition, and you know, obviously we're going to run off of misses and turnovers, but we like to play with pace in the half court, and that's ball movement. And so you see a lot of our extra secondary assists, like you mentioned, and us touching the paint and kicking out for open shots. That's pace in the half court. So we're not just walking. Although we're walking up at a slower pace, we like the actions that we're getting into in the half court. And pace is not just transition.
So against the Clippers, first to 80 wins.
So
first to